So welcome to this DBMS class. Uh, we are ready to begin our revision part. In this revision part, we will work out on the different basic SQL commands. In a part of that, we would like to cover from this unit will be the basic SQL queries followed by nested queries, correlation nested queries, set operations, aggregate operations, null values, logical and or not, and impact of SQL queries, outer joins, disallowing null values, complex integrity constraints in SQL, and triggers and active databases. This will be the orientation how we are going to do these elements. To do these elements, the very first thing was we have to use the SQL part. In this SQL part, it is most suitable product for any relational database management system. So we call structured query language here. It is of data definition language. It is of data manipulation language, and it is embedded with dynamic SQL. It does triggers. It does transaction management and client server architectures, execution on remote databases, live SQL, what we are working. So these are some of the ways where SQL is going to be taken up. So before we dig deep into the SQL, the part where this SQL we are going to use will be with the three database tables. One we call it as Siler, two we call it as boards, three we call it as reserves. In Silers, we make Siler ID, Siler name, and Siler's rating, followed by age. In boats, we have boat ID, boat name, and the color of a boat. In reserves, which Siler will reserve which boat, you need to bring this, and the day in which the reserves, the date that Siler he is going to book the boat, that was the key takeaway. So before we look into the SQL part, etc., so we have in this model called as Silers, called as reserves, called as boats. So we have 22, 29, 31, 32, 30, 58, 64, 71, 74, 85, and 95 as Siler IDs. So we create an instance of a Siler, that is what S3 we call. Similarly, we can work with reserves, or we can make a instance analysis for the reserves. And finally, for the boards, we can go up with the boards in the B1, etc. So to do this all, first of all, we need to work out with the basic SQL operations. In this basic SQL operations, we almost depend on the select command. When we are going to use distint, it gives us unique, or it says no duplicates. So only one occurrence of that element will happen, and whatever items we want to display, we call them as a target list, or we are going to call it as a select list. And from list, it is going to contain the databases, from which database we want to take it up, and where condition is going to be met when we are going to put into the qualification. So in general, a database will take up the distant element, which is an optional, followed by the select list, and thereby from list, and qualification. So now when we are going to see this part, select list contains the output variables. From list will contain the databases, and qualification is the condition it is going to met. Now, where is going to be an optional entry again? So whenever it is necessary, then only we will be using where. Similarly, along with where, there are other clauses with like from clause, where clause, group by, order by, and having. So these are the n number of elements what the SQL is going to have with clauses where certain qualifications are going to be met. So that is where this clauses are going to have its existence. So now to look back towards the queries, first we should bring these queries into an executive model in such a way that it does with creating of the Siler database. That is, we can create a Siler table with the Siler ID, which it is defined as a primary key. Then we are going to call the Siler name with a varchar of 100. Then we give the Siler rating. So when we purchase something from an Amazon or Flipkart, we give the rating 5-star, 4-star rating, or similarly when we get some food from Swiggy or Panda, etc., then again we are going to give the person rating, etc. So 5-star rating, etc. So similarly, if the sailor is doing good in riding the boat, then for him there will be some such of rating. So now this is the DTL command to execute such queries. Later on, we will insert the data into the Siler database. How we are going to do that was, we have Siler ID name and rating and age, and we will put the values with 22, Dustin 7, and 45 is nothing but the age, and 7 is going to be the rating. When we are going to work with the string or characters, etc., varchar 2, etc., then we have to put this in a double quotes or a single quotes. So as of now, we are putting the single quotes. So we have Dustin, Brutus, Luber, Andy, Rusty, Horatio, Zobra, Horatio, Art, and Bob. So now you can see at this point of time the number of insert rows what we made were done up. Then we want to understand whether really this happened in the table, whether the Siler database has been created or not. Now you can see that whatever insert operations we made with some set of 10 records, all the 10 records, they were part of this content here. So now let us work in our shared notebook for quick reference, quick understanding, where we have done all our experiments. Now I'm adding one more page where we will bring up the databases at a single location. So that will be quite easy for us to navigate one after the other. So now you can paste this content as a part of a result set here. Now, after table database was created, next we need to have working with the boards database. In the boards database, we have board ID, which is going to be a primary key. Then the name of a boat, it is an Interlake, it is Clipper, etc. So we get these values. Then the color of the boat, whether it is red, whether it is green, whether it is blue, or whatever colors we are going to take up. So in this model, we are going to have the insert operations one after the other for the boat databases. So let us make this boat with 1, 0, 1, 2 and 3, 4. So now I'm hitting on the run button towards creation of a table. Thereby I'm taking up the insert commands towards putting the things into the database. So some errors are occurring in the databases. So you can see 1, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4 are done. Okay. Next one, we will take these databases to our work area as it is done. Now the most important part and talking about key constraints, etc. So at this part we need to look how resource database was taken up. So resource database, we have the local variable, that is SID. Then we have another local variable, that is BID. Then we have a date. Then this local variable, it is going to point out to the global variable. So now you can check here, boat ID, it is integer data type. The same data type we are calling it as integer data type. So now boat ID, we are getting it from the boat. So at this point of time, and in this boat ID, we have this as primary key. We have this one as a primary key. So now we can see here the boat ID, it will be acted hereafter as a foreign key, and it is going to refer to the table called as boats, and to which key it is going to point means it is going to point to the boat ID. So this part, what our way of telling was, already boat ID, it is given as a primary key. Therefore, now at this point of time in the resource table, it acts as a foreign key and it is going to point out to the local variable. So the local variable should have the same, will have the same database, I can say data type, same data type, and then same size, etc. So this is the takeaway what when we are going to work with the resource. So that is what we brought here. We made a create resource operation and then we taken up two foreign keys, SID and BID from Silas and boat. So now you can observe here there was a comment at the bottom that table was created. Then we are going to insert the elements into the resource database with student with the Siler ID, boat ID and day. So you can like all the 10 instances what we promoted, those are all created. Now we will take a snapshot for quick reference to understand what are the things in the resource databases. So we now put the things in this format. Okay, so up to now we are done. What we made? We made three tables, Silos, reserves and boats. We inserted the things, then we displayed the things. Then now the databases are ready. What next? What next is nothing but we have to start working with the basic SQL operations. We have to work with the basic SQL operations. So how we are going to work it out? So let us see the very first query. Let us see the very first query, that is find the names and ages of the seller. Find the names and ages of the seller. So now you can understand this question at this point of time, that what is telling that it needs only the names. It needs only the names. And that too it is asking for unique values. As it needs an unique value, now we are going to take up, it should display the distinct element. So in order to display the distinct elements, we are going to bring the keyword called as a distinct. So before that, what we will do is, I have taken a snapshot of the three tables for quick understanding. So that if we can put it here, and it will be useful, no need to run or rush up when we are going to work with these three tables separately. So the question was, find the names and ages of the sellers, distinct names. So when it is with the distinct names, now you can understand from the result set 1, so Dustin is 1, Brutus is 2, then Luber is 3, Andy is 4, Rusty is 5, Horatio is 6, then Jorba is 7. Now already Horatio is there, right? Now again we are going to say another Horatio was there. So at this point of time, we can eliminate the Horatio. The reason was occurrence of Horatio was only one time, and then Art, it is coming for the first time, and Bob, yeah, it is coming for the first time. So in the 10 rows, what we are going to talk, 9 rows, they are going to be unique. So let us see whether such a value is going to print the uniqueness when we are going to execute this in live SQL or not. So we will move to our work area at the live SQL part. Then we will take up this question. Then this is question number 1. So we'll put this in comments. Now, find the sellers, name of the names and ages of sellers. So for that, what we are going to do is select distinct s.name age from sellers. So at this point of time, when we are going to hit the run button, so S name was invalid, it seems. So why S name was invalid was we have given it is just name. We have given it is name. So now we will ignore this and now we will start again. So now you should understand, at this point of time there are only 9 rows selected. Why 9 rows are selected? The reason was we are going to use a word called as a distinct. So distinct, it is going to give up the unique values. So let us select the 9 rows, then move to the work area where we are, and place the answers below this. So it will be a good reference for us. So what was the question, what was the answer? In this model we will be getting the things. So this is what is the output we are dragging it up. Now next one was, let us see one more operation. So we are still not working on multiple tables, because we are seeing that to work on a single table have enough knowledge, and thereby we will move up to the things. So at this point of time, we will now again put this in the databases, find the sailors find the sailors with an age above, with a rating above 7. So this was the question. So the question what it was telling was, find the sailors with the rating is above 7. So let us move to the work area. So at this point of time, you can see the sailors table. So in this sailor table, now we have the sailor instances. So in the sailor instances, you can see there are the values whose rating was greater than 7. The question was, what it was telling was, you should find all the sailors. So it is saying all. If it is saying all, what we should understand? That means we can have duplicate sailor names. That means we can have duplicate sailors names. So that advantages we can take it, right? So now this is name. Now what was the answer? First we should understand it from the OneNote, and then we can execute it, right? Much time we should try to understand it from the database. Then if we are going for execution, that it will be a better way to understand the content. Yeah, this is the result set. Now the question was rating greater than 7. The question was rating greater than 7. 1, it will be Luber because his rating was 8. 2, it will be Andy because his rating was greater than 7. 3, it will be Rusty because his rating was greater than 7. 4, it will be Zurat, his rating was greater than 7. And I can't take up another Horato because we made it as a rating is greater than 7. We didn't mention it as greater than or equals to 7. But one Horato, it is 9. So in this way, how many records will we get? We will be getting 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So total we should get 5 rows as the answer. So now let us check in the SQL part whether we are able to meet that or not. So we have s dot, I missed something here. So we have s dot name. Why is it not accepting the content? Okay, I can. So we can bring this out. Find as Silas and whose age was greater than rating is above 7. So this was the query, and why is the error here? So SID followed by rating and age from Silas, where it is greater than age greater than 7. So something it is not accepting. Okay, I'll type it. So select s dot sid comma s dot rating comma s dot name and s dot age from Silas, yes, where s dot rating is greater than 7. So now you can see the same query I executed. Maybe some typos are there. Maybe the characters watch we are unable to see because we directly copy pasted from the PPT, and maybe some special characters are included, which it is not tracked at this point of time. So for that we are going to use in this model. So select s dot sid rating etc. So now you can see this query in this form, and you can put the query at this. And similarly, how many rows we are expecting? We are expecting 5 rows. So all the 5 rows are given as the answer for the second query. Okay. Now let us work with the third query. What was the third query was? So it does tell that the third query, find the names of sailors who have reserved a boat number 103. So this is a little bit fishy at this point of time. That is, find the names of the sailors who have reserved boat number 103. Then what the thing or expectation was? Now we should work with the multiple tables. We should work with the multiple tables, no option, right? Because who have reserved a boat number 103, then reserves, it is given in reserve table. Names of a sailor is given in sailor table. So we need two tables. So even though we need to print out the name of a sailor, so still we need to have, because he has reserved a boat at 103, so we need to have reserve boat also. Next one. How can I link table 1 and table 2? How can I link table 1 and table 2 was, I can link when SID is common, because the variable SID exists in both the tables, and BID in reserves table. So another operation what we need to have, it will be an AND operation, that I can say there is a table form A, B, A and B. So you can make an AND operation. So true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. Now AND is nothing but a multiplication operation. So true into true is true, and remaining anything multiplied by true and false, they are false, and false it is again false. So we should have to select only one case. So according to the definition of AND, when both A and B are true, then only the answer is true. That means the two conditions must satisfy. Two conditions must satisfy, right? The two conditions only must satisfy, then only we get the answer. Then only we get the answer. So that is the scenario we have to build up. Okay, now Cyler ID is equals to Cyler ID and boat ID is equals to 103. So this is the instance we have to look into the case. Boat ID is equals to 103. Occurrence 1, occurrence 2, occurrence 3. Okay, so we have three occurrences. First occurrence, boat ID is equals to 103, and you can see that 103, 103, 103, it is occurring 3 times. Okay, it is going to occur for 3 times. What next? Cyler ID should be both in Cyler ID should be both in reserves. So what is common here? 22, right? So 22 occurrence is here. Next one, we have 22, 22, 22, 22. Next 31 is there. Yeah, 31 is going to be there. Next one was, we have 64. 64 is there. And the last one will be the 74. So these 4 are going to be the all the Cylers, right? So now you can see that Brutus will not be available. Andy will not be available. Andy will not be available. Rusty will not be available. Jorba will not be available. Art will not be available. And Bob will not be available. Who are the other sailors who are common in Cyler's database and reserves database? Means it is going to be 22 always for 4 times. Then it is going to be 31 for 3 times, 64 for 2 times, and 71 for 1 time. So now you should understand that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Cylers. And is the query complete? No. We have to see a AND operation. We have to go for AND operation. So what is this AND operation now it is going to do? So 22, 31, 64 and 74 followed by AND 103. So this is what it should obey. It should obey both. So now who are the instances working with obeying with the boat number 102? So now you can choose 22 and 102, 103. That is 1. Next one, 31 and 103. Third one, you can look 74 and 103. Right? We have only first occurrence, second occurrence, and third occurrence. So let us see how we get these things when we are going to put in the live SQL. So the query was telling find the names of a seller who have reserved a boat with 103. So now we don't have yes before that, so that's why I removed that one. Now sellers we create an aliases, reserves we create an aliases R. So instead of writing the complete name, we call it by its nickname or pet name. So we pull this s dot sid and r dot rid, and then we apply with the two conditions are going to be satisfied. Right? In the OneNote, we have already written that it should return 3, right? First one, second one, third one. 22 is called as Dustin. 31 is called as Luber. 74 is called as Horatio. So 3 instances should come. So now you can observe Dustin, Luber and Horatio are going to be the answers at this point of time. So we can again see that the answers are placed appropriately after the query. The query sequence, if this is in this model, it will be really good for you to understand. One, we have a question, then we have the query, and after query, you will get the result set with the output. So you can have all in one, that is with the question, query and output. So that is the intention why we brought this OneNote book for you to roll out your SQL queries. Okay. So in today's class, we started out with the basic SQL operations. We have taken 3 tables, created the 3 tables, etc. Then we started working with single table operation and we made 2 queries. After that, now we made this multiple table operation between sellers and reserves content. So this is all the input for today.